And welcome back into Newsmax Now. John Bachman, Miranda Kahn, Ed Berliner from Midpoint and Hardline. Soon to be released new show coming up in the primetime hours is here with us.
9 o'clock Eastern Time, starting tomorrow night.
We're all excited, Ed.
Yeah.
Excited about the expansion. And also, any insight on the Joe Biden shoulder rubs? I know you had one way back.
No, I have not. I have not had a Joe
That was-
Biden shoulder rub.
that was
I have
a
not
rumor?
had any shoulder rubs in recent memory, although I am now going to go out and purchase a set of them just to have them. I want
Okay.
them here in the studio right before the show.
They're always good to have to get yourself warmed up for the show.
I think John's going to volunteer for you. Just kidding.
Thanks, Miranda. Okay, gee,
Yeah.
yeah, for some more uncomfortable moments here. Let's
Anyway,
move ahead.
Let's segue naturally to our next topic.
There you go.
The
Go ahead, love. I wanna see you make this
awkwardness
one.
of having a former president criticize a sitting president on foreign policy. If this, in fact, turns out to be true, what do you make of this?
I mean, as far as Bush coming after President Obama?
Sure.
It's something that you don't really see a lot, simply because usually you don't have presidents say much about sitting presidents. They want to stay away from it. But I think in this case, George Bush has a good point. However, there are those who would say, but wait a minute, George Bush is one of the presidents, and I do say one of the presidents who put us in this problem in the first place. Barack Obama just made it a whole lot worse. I think that it's the interesting thing to come out of this is not that George Bush is going after the president, but the fact that George Bush has said that he will not campaign for Jeb. He wants to stay off the campaign trail because he thinks that the American people have had enough of dynasties. Interesting seeing that he is part of one of those dynasties, but I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, his public opinion polling numbers have risen dramatically since he left office, as one would expect, but maybe not at the point yet where he is an asset out on the campaign trail.
No, he's
and
not.
He was hugely absent from 2008, too, on the campaign trail, could not go out there. And a lot of folks are wondering this time around if that's what President Obama is going to be in that same situation with his approval numbers so low. Will he be absent from the 2016 campaign trail?
Well, look at what happened here, because basically Jeb Bush has come out many times and said, I don't want to be seen as my brother.
Right.
I have no desire to be so this is how you do it. You cut the cord and you walk away from the brother. You start to set your own case. Will he be able to? No, of course not. The American public will always look at Jeb Bush and they will see George, they will see the father,
Right.
they will see everybody else in a dynasty.
Hillary's
Which is
kinda
why I
doing
think
the
he
same
has.
thing.
Hillary is exactly the same thing, although the arrogance factor in the Clinton camp is
Let's-
eons higher than anything else could possibly be in the Bush era.
Let's talk about the Clinton camp. Our Newsmax CEO, Chris Ruddy, penning an op-ed piece. It's available on Newsmax.com right now in defense of the Clinton Foundation. Quote, I have been involved with the foundation for over 7 years now. During that time, I've always found it nonpartisan. I've never felt the whiff of politics from either its staff or any of its activities. You're going to talk to Chris coming up here later today?
Chris is going to be a guest with us. We'll discuss that as a matter of fact. And he brings up a very good point. I mean, I think the question was asked over the weekend on one of the Sunday talkers, where is the smoking gun?
Right.
Now, that's what everybody wants to see. Show me something that was done illegally. Show me proof of it, and then we can move ahead. However,
And guys,
you
one
see
of
a
the-
little here and a little here and a little here. It's a breadcrumb. It's that trail of breadcrumbs that is leading to the Clintons constantly. And a lot of it
Right.
comes down certainly with this IRS filing now that comes back. Oh, gee, we're going to go back and amend everything from years past. It still doesn't sit with the American people, but they want to see that break of the law. They want to see that error there, and we haven't seen it yet, not even in Schweitzer's book, though we still have a lot to
This
learn.
whole conversation that has dominated the press corps over the last few days is all about a book which isn't even released yet, too.
Right.
Let's not forget about that little fact.
And you and I both know, and we all know.
And we're releasing a book about Bush as well.
Well, exactly. We've
Right.
been around books for a long time. We've been around authors who do this. Not everything has come out at this point. You know that there is
Right.
there are things that they're holding back. The big question is, I think Chris Wallace is the one who asked it. Where is the smoking gun? Tell us exactly where it is. Maybe we'll see it. Now, again, Schweitzer's going to have to come out, and if he's going to actually do, which he will, the book about Bush, he's going to have to be just as critical, or else that partisanship will walk into this every single time.
And Schweitzer certainly has chummed the waters with this book. Now it's up to Congress, I guess, to investigate, and we know she'll be back before the Special Select Committee on Benghazi. Will this overtake that? Will Congress be able to stay focused on all this stuff like
Breadcrumbs.
like a kitty cat with too many balls of yarn up there on
Breadcrumbs.
the table?
That's what it is. It's a little breadcrumb here and there. And if you've got to cut off the breadcrumbs, and maybe that's the way to stop all this speculation. But that'll never happen.
Real quickly, I want to talk about what's coming up on your show today. A new bill that would force the feds to respect state laws of marijuana. What's coming up?
It's a big argument right now. Can the feds tell the states what to do about medicinal marijuana? That, Chris Ruddy, and a whole lot more. 2 o'clock Eastern.
All right, sounds good. Ed, always good to have you.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here.
We're coming back with more here on Newsmax Now right after this short commercial break.